Denny Hamlin wins a chaotic Coca Cola 600. Let's talk about it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? If I haven't earned your subscription, hopefully today is the day I will earn that subscription. All right. It was a great race. The cars were twitchy. Nobody could really get a handle on the track at various points. Various people looked fast. Other than Trackhouse, Trackhouse looked good for the entire race until both cars got into a little bit of trouble. But the cars, like I said, were twitchy, which brought up a lot of cautions. The left rear tires blew out, which also brought up a lot of cautions. It was part demolition derby, part endurance race. Basically, if you could survive this, you got a good finish. But at various points, various people were fast. But at the end of the day, cautions were sort of the name of the game. So let's talk about at least a few of those cautions. Toward the end of the race, as it was winding down, Chase Briscoe had chased down Kyle Larson, who had a big lead after the Tyler Reddick, I think, caution. After the Tyler Reddick caution, Kyle Larson stretched out a nice big lead, and then Chase Briscoe chased him down, and they were having an absolute heck of a battle. It was some of the best racing you will ever see. Short track, intermediate, road course, super speedway. It was some of the best racing you'll ever see, but Chase Briscoe doing Chase Briscoe things, absolutely going for the win. Once again, overdrove it and brought out another caution, and that caution is what I want to talk about next. So that caution brought out basically an overtime finish. All the cars dived onto pit road because tires were significant in this. You wanted to get tires whenever you could get tires. So everybody went and got tires. Ross Chastain got 2. Kyle Larson got 2. They were at the front of the field. Everybody else, I guess, got 4, or for the most part, a lot of the rest of the people got 4. So that set up sort of this mixed bag of a finish. Kyle Larson got out there on the restart. He got in front of Ross Chastain, but as he was doing that, Austin Dillon got a mega run because he had 4 fresh tires, and he almost cleared them all, but he did not clear them all. I mean, he was absolutely going for it. He was doing what he had to do. He was trying to get a win. I can't fault him for that, but he wasn't quite clear. He self-cleared himself, and he wiped out pretty much all of the leaders: Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano. He sort of wiped out everybody that was up there fighting for that win. So that caution set up another overtime caution. And in that overtime caution, Ross Chastain got the outside, but his car was badly damaged. He was never going to be a threat. Denny Hamlin took the other position, and he had Kyle Busch behind him. Basically, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch got away, and they had sort of a shootout at the very end to decide this race, and Kyle Busch couldn't quite hold on to it on the high side. Denny Hamlin got past him. Kyle Busch got down on him again, down on his corner, sort of like he did at the beginning of the race, and he pushed up and lost control of his car, and he backed up, and so that was the end of that. But it was a good race for the finish. Denny Hamlin gets the win, which is kind of ironic because the guys that finished 1 and 2 are the guys who complained about Alex Bowman backing into wins, and now both of those guys this season have backed into a win apiece for them. I know Denny Hamlin has 2 wins. His first win, he just won, but this one he definitely backed into it. He didn't have the fastest car, and Kyle Busch, even in his interview, said he had a car that had no business finishing in the second place position. It's late, guys. Sorry, fighting this one off. But aside from the exciting finish and Denny Hamlin, backing into a win, there were a few takeaways. Trackhouse had the absolute fastest cars there. Trackhouse basically would have had a 1-2 finish if Daniel Suarez hadn't either, according to him, pushed up or self-cleared himself. Other people thought he self-cleared himself. Either way, if Daniel Suarez hadn't gotten into that trouble, he definitely had probably the fastest car there. Ross Chastain, without a doubt, had the fastest or second fastest car there. So Trackhouse had a nice 1-2 finish. Didn't work out for him. Ross Chastain got tangled up in the other mess there caused by Austin Dillon. But Ford also had speed there too. Ryan Blaney didn't get the finish he probably wanted, but he definitely had speed. He was up at the front running until he ran into trouble, and Chase Briscoe absolutely had a fast car. He ended up with a decent finish, but he definitely was contending for the win as well, so they had fast cars. And Toyota had fast cars at the beginning of the race, but they didn't seem to have that long run speed. But at the end of the day, they survived, and they had a nice, they finished 1, 2. All right, let's go ahead and look at that top 10 because tons of surprises in it. Just like I said, whoever survived. Denny Hamlin, of course, gets your win. Kyle Busch finishes second. Kevin Harvick out of nowhere finishes third. Chase Briscoe recovers to fourth. Christopher Bell also recovering out of nowhere to finish fifth. Tyler Reddick, who he was like a lap down, 2 laps down at one point, finishes sixth. Ricky Stenhouse for the second week in a row has finished in the top 10. He finishes seventh. It might actually be a longer streak than that. Michael McDowell started in the top 10 and finished in the top 10. He finished eighth. Kyle Larson recovers to finish ninth. And Alex Bowman, all day, didn't see where he was at, ends up finishing at 10th at the end of the race. Also notable, Harrison Burton got an 11th, Ty Dillon was 13th, and Eric Jones was 14th. All right, so those were the guys that had good races, but let's take a look at the rather lengthy list of people who had bad races. First off, of course, Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez, Trackhouse, they had good cars. Either one of those guys probably could have won the race, but didn't fall their way. They got knocked out by basically attrition. 2311, Bubba Wallace had a really good car. Kurt Busch also had a decent car. They were making hay early in the race, but Bubba Wallace's crew, once again, they're absolutely undefeated this season. The penalty clock ran out on the vehicle repair clock or whatever that thing is. It ran out. Even though the car didn't have that much damage, it was just a terrible mistake. They can't make that mistake. However it happened, somebody said they went X amount of laps down or something like that. Either way, they screwed up on the vehicle timer to repair the car and shouldn't have retired it because it definitely could have kept going. So definitely a bad day for them. Also a bad day for Ryan Blaney. He had a good car. Didn't work out for him. Add to that list Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Corey LaJoie. Corey LaJoie and Spire, they worked till 4 o'clock in the morning to get that car out there back on the track. And once the race started, he was in trouble again and he knocked down the wall. So you kind of feel terrible for the Spire guys. They spent all that effort to get the car out there just to try to compete for the race. And once again, it got tore up one more time. So I always hate to see that. I've been in that situation with late models. You stay up all night and you go out there and you're just hoping to get all the laps in at the very least, and then you wreck it again. And so all the hard work you put in, you got to do it all over again. All right, I'm exhausted. That is all I've got for you today, guys. If you made it this far, feel free to subscribe down below. If you got a comment, leave it down in the comment section. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.